Hey guys, it's Andrew Escobar here, back with another, I guess you can call it a review. I just want to share my experience with you guys about Lasik Plus Vision Center, I guess. I have been considering LASIK for quite some time now, and I've been doing a lot of research, and I found that there's a place called Lasik Plus. It's relatively well known. They've had advertisements and commercials, and they will evaluate you for free to see if you qualify for LASIK. Now, I'm going to be honest, that sounds a little fishy because you think, if they're doing it for free, they're going to try and rope you into something. Whereas opposed to like someone who you pay to tell you if you qualify or not, there's that reassurance that, okay, they're not the one who do LASIK. They're just the ones who tell you if you qualify, so they're not going to be biased in any sense, right? Well, LASIK Plus does it for free, so there's that little fear factor of, what if they're just telling me that I qualified just so that they can do the surgery and get money, right? Well, that was sort of rolling through my head as I sat there, but in all honesty, they seem relatively legit. And here's my experience, and maybe this will help explain why I think that. Okay, so I go to the LASIK Plus Center. I walk in, say hi, tell them, that I got my appointment there. And you can schedule your appointment online without ever having to call. They'll call you a day before the appointment to confirm. And I went in there and then I filled out some paperwork. It was 3 pages of paperwork. Nothing really too major with the paperwork. It was all pretty easy. Um, then I handed it back in, and then what they make you do is they give you a little DVD player with a DVD in it, and what it does is it goes over a bunch of very common questions about LASIK, so that while you're waiting for the doctors and everything, you already have a bunch of questions answered, so you're more informed, I guess. So I thought, they told me that it was going to be like 90 minutes, and I'm like, holy crap, that's a lot of freaking video. I don't want to sit through all that. Turned out to be only like 10 minutes of video. It was very informative, but not much that I didn't already know. So once I was ready to have my examinations, there's like 5 parts to it, believe it or not. And each part does something a little different. I don't know exactly what the machines do. I inquired about that, but I'll get to that in a moment. They start you out with, the basic eye exam stuff, and there's like 5 different rooms, and you go from room to room. And each machine is more complex than the last, and I was actually asking about that, what do these machines do? And they were explaining that, well, the classic, they can put it under your eyes and they flip. Is this one better or this one? 2 or 3? 2 or 3? See, they told me that really only measures about 3 different things about your eye. Whereas they have this special device that, like, she was kind of like, when you look into it, it's like a red beam kind of thing. And that measures up to, or maybe even more, than 60 different things about your eye. And I asked a decent bit of questions, and they were explaining, yeah, well, LASIK, a while ago, it was different because everything was, mostly done by hand. And back a while ago, the LASIK devices, or the machine that reshapes your cornea, wasn't very customized to the person's eye. Whereas now it's a lot more complex. They measure so many more things. There's so much more data that these machines can take into now into account of all this to make sure that your LASIK is more customized to your eyes, making it so that everyone's procedure is a little different. And I went through all these things. They dilated my eyes. My eyes are still a little dilated, and I can't really see in front of me. It's like, but I was able to drive home, which was good. And after about the 5th machine, they said, all right, well, then just take a seat here. There's 2 waiting rooms. They put me in the second waiting room in the middle of the area. And I sat there for maybe like 20, 30 minutes waiting. There was a few people ahead of me, so. And then eventually they call me in, and they do a few more tests, ask me a few questions, and at this time, when you're talking to the actual doctor, now is the time to ask your stupid questions. They may seem stupid to you, they may seem arbitrary, but ask them. Definitely tell them everything you plan to do with your eyes. Tell them everything about your daily activity, any problems, concerns, any issues you have with your eyes. Just tell them. They need to be able to take in all counts for what your specific eyes are like. No one's eyes are the same, okay? Freaking, it's like a retinal eye scanner, right? Everyone's eyes are different. So you need to explain to them why your eyes are different than anyone else's so they can answer your questions, all right? It may take more time. It may be annoying. You may even want to write down some questions to ask them. The point is, do it. These are your eyes we're talking about, people. If something screws up horribly wrong because of a lack of information that you gave them, then shit's gonna go down. But we'll get to why that doesn't matter too much, but it's still very important in a moment. Okay, so I got all this information done, and eventually they found that, yes, I am a candidate for LASIK, and actually a relatively good candidate. I've been wearing glasses most of my life, and my prescription really hasn't changed that much over the years. And one thing to note, contacts and glasses, for LASIK, it's very important that you specify which one you use more, because contacts will actually be kind of a problem. You're not supposed to wear your contacts for over a week before your LASIK, right? So just wear your glasses, because for some reason contacts mess up your eyes or something. I don't know. But I wear glasses 99% of the time, so that wasn't a problem for me. They were explaining to me, all the financial things and everything, and the doctor, they were all very friendly and pretty down to earth. And for the LASIK procedure for both eyes, it runs you about $3,600. They told me the most any insurance pays is 15% when it comes to the surgery, which isn't much, but it's probably going to be worth it once I get it. They do have payment plans, financing options and stuff like that. What else am I forgetting here? I guess in the off note, they also provide free pop and coffee. Don't know if that really makes a difference. Probably doesn't. You have to be 21 or older for financing, otherwise your parents can do it and stuff. I'm 18, turning 19 soon, so yeah. Overall, the experience was pretty good. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this or not. They can do your LASIK same day as your exam, provided you get your exam on a day that they have designated for the actual procedures. Because they got 5 rooms where they do the exams, and not more than 30 feet away is the actual area where they actually do the LASIK procedure. So you can get everything done in the same day. And if you're one of those good people, you can go back to work the next day and you'll be fine. Because the results, once they flip your lens or your eye or whatever back up, the results are relatively instant. You just need to make sure you don't rub your eyes, and you need to follow the procedure with the wetting your eyes with the artificial tears and all that stuff, right? And there's a lot of concerns that I had, because here's the thing: if you look on YouTube, LASIK eye surgery review, you'll see a lot of people who say, no way, don't do it, I got fucked up because of it. Okay, let me just explain something you do about reviews. I've been doing reviews for a lot of things for a long time now. The percentage of people who have had a bad experience who will do a review is much higher than the percentage of people who have had a good experience to do a review. The reason why, because if you have a bad experience with something, you are more inclined to tell other people about it, to warn them. So in reality, when you're trying to compare a ratio of who got a good surgery and who got a bad surgery, it's hard to tell, because the people with a good surgery probably didn't do a review, whereas people who've had a bad experience probably did. So keeping that in mind, realistically, only like 2% of LASIK eye surgery patients actually have a bad, reaction to anything. But Here's why you shouldn't be too worried about that. LASIK Plus, the price that it includes, the $3,600, that includes the surgery, the follow-ups, the medication, all that stuff. And here's the best part. If you need correction for anything, let's say your surgery, let's say it goes fine, and a year or two down the road, your vision starts getting bad again. They'll fix that for free. That's included in the price, because that price includes a lifetime of corrections if your LASIK starts to mess up on you. It also includes, like, if your LASIK goes bad and your eyes get messed up, they'll also fix that. So, in reality, if you go with LASIK Plus, you pay the full amount to get everything you can, right? There's nothing too much to worry about. If it goes good, great. Then it's perfect. If it goes bad, they can fix it eventually. If it needs repairs, they'll do that too. No cost to you. What's the problem, people? Honestly, I really don't see any downside to this. So, I asked, there may be a few things out there, like you may be saying, well, what about these halo things that people have been getting? Well, here's the problem. Or the lack of a problem in my case. Ever since I was young to still right now, at nighttime, you look at a light and it looks like there's rays of light coming out of the bulb. That's what I have. And I told the eye doctor that, and he's like, well, then it looks like you already have some halos. So, to me, it's like, it couldn't really get any worse. If I have halos right now, why should it matter if I have halos after my LASIK eye surgery? In fact, I saw images of what people sometimes see, like in my case, versus what they see after LASIK. And in all honesty, the halos look a lot better of a problem than what I have right now. So, I don't care. Another thing people brought up, and I have more validity to this question than anyone, okay? I asked him, well, what about my night vision? Because I'm nocturnal, all right? I have insomnia, hypersomnia, and delayed sleep syndrome. I am active during the night. I have night shifts of everything. Even my school, my college is at night because of this. It's just genetically who I am. So, I asked him, my life revolves around nighttime, and I hear that LASIK can screw up your night vision. He says, yeah, that could be an issue. You might get halos, which, like I said before, don't care. And your night vision may be bad for up to like 3-4 months around there, but eventually it'll start getting better and better, and as your eyes adjust to the new cornea shape and everything, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay? I guess what I'm getting at, and one of the reasons why I did this, is because I needed to know for myself, do all these negative reviews on YouTube really mean anything to me? Because for a while, I was looking it all up, and I was like, this sounds kind of scary. You look up the procedure, they got this metal thing, and they're like cutting your eye with the freaking blade. It's like, oh, that looks pretty freaky. But then you actually go there and you realize that LASIK Plus doesn't do blades. It's all laser. Everything is cut by the machine. Okay? And, that reduces the risk by a lot. And I told him something that may be unique to me, but maybe to other people. You may or not know this about me. I have Tourette syndrome. I do this a lot. Can't control like the upper torso of my body, including my neck. So obviously, if I do that or that, it could be a problem, right? Because my tics, I can't control it. Not a problem, because the machine instantaneously reacts to anything your eyes and head do. If your eyes move a little, the machine compensates and moves with you, so that your eyes don't get fucked up. If your head or eyes move too far, the machine will automatically shut itself off to prevent any damage. Sounds pretty good to me. So basically, all my fears were reassured by the modern technology that is used today in LASIK eye surgery. If you look up reviews from like 2008 and before, right? Yeah, there's going to be a lot of horrific things. But let's face it, a few years ago, we didn't have the good stuff we have right now. So, although I'm not here to convince you to get LASIK, I'm simply here because I'm here to tell you about my experience at Lasik Plus thus far. I haven't had LASIK yet, as you can plainly tell. I'm still wearing glasses. I'm nearsighted. My glasses aren't a heavy prescription. And the reason I'm even considering LASIK is because I'm starting to get into racing a lot more seriously than I used to. You know, when you wear a helmet when you race, your glasses get squished and do things you don't like, limits your vision. And with contacts, well, when you accelerate and decelerate, your eyeball changes shape slightly, so your contacts fall out because they don't maintain the suction they need. And I've actually had that happen to me at like high speeds, and that's no fun. So that's why I'm considering LASIK. And I told him that, and he's like, "Yeah, it won't be a problem at all." You know, and back to the point that was my entire experience. Back to the point that should it matter that their evaluation is free? I don't think it matters. If for some reason you think it's fishy, get it anyway. Get the free evaluation. Doesn't cost you anything. What have you got to lose? If you don't like it, go to some place where you can pay someone to do an totally unbiased analysis of your eyes. Chances are, I'm guessing they're probably going to give you the same diagnosis. So, and you know, there's also like my dad, for instance, right? He went to a place to get a free evaluation. They straight up told him the LASIK ain't going to do nothing for you. So, if you think about it, if they're doing a free evaluation and they tell you that you're not going to be a good candidate whatsoever, then that just reinforces my thoughts that they're not trying to scam you out of money. They are giving you legitimate answers. So, here I go, I guess. I'm going to try saving up my money for LASIK. I'm going to get the procedure done eventually. And you can bet that once I get it done, I will be right back here in this computer chair telling you about my experience. But I think that's all you really need to know. And just remember, I'm not biased in any sense in this case at all. I never really am biased in any sense. I've always been doing honest reviews and stuff, and just this is such a big deal to me that I figured I might as well tell you guys, because maybe you're considering it too. So, long story short, don't be afraid. The best thing you can do for yourself is get a good, reputable eye surgeon. If you do that, you'll be fine.